Hey, what is up, YouTube? What is up, Christian Theology family? So we have Beta CNN host gets obliterated by base lawmaker on the Ten Commandments being placed in schools in Nebraska. I think Nebraska, if I'm correct. All right, let's get straight to the video. All right.
When a Southern accent or Louisiana accent is talking about God, I love it. All right. So anyway, let me just give my take on the Ten Commandments. In Louisiana school district required that schools put, amongst other things, the Ten Commandments in the classroom. I think that's absolutely perfect to do. It's not a problem. There's no issue with separation of church and state. People that argue that, they're complete idiots. So I'm gonna play her clip, and then I'm gonna give my 2 cents about why I think these people are absolutely nutty for thinking that this is a separation of church and state issue.
Fundamentally, you understand that there's a separation between church and state, and that if you're a student at a school, say you're Muslim or Hindu or atheist, having that on the wall, doesn't that endorse a specific set of beliefs?
Absolutely not. It is a historical document. Again,
But there are
laws of
historical
this nation-
documents. There are historical documents that actually this law authorizes to be displayed in classrooms, like the Mayflower Compact, the Declaration of Independence, and others. But this one is specifically religious.
This is a
Hold on. I'm gonna play it. I promise. Just from the onset, this guy is disingenuous and stupid at best. The Mayflower Compact. All of these things come from a Christian nation. So you can argue that just the founding documents of this nation is religiously biased. We don't have Sharia law in the school, do we? So what are we saying?
On
very
on the money, it says God, in God we trust, not in Allah we trust. So like, what people are talking about, bro? This country was founded on Christian men. Maybe the Christian men weren't the best. Maybe a few Christian men had some slaves. A few of them had some slaves. I don't freaking know. But what I know is that even on the dollar bill, even on that $100 bill, it says in God we trust. It says in God we trust. So that means this country's kind of founded on the God upstairs, not Allah, not these Hindus, not these Baptists or whatever. It was founded on God, bro. So let's be honest right there, all right?
This nation has gotten out of hand with crime, with the bad negative things that are going on. Why is it so preposterous that we would want our students to have the option to have some good principles instilled in them? If they don't hear it at home, let them read it in the classroom. It's no different than the Mayflower Compact, which is mentioned in the document as well. I don't understand why this is so preposterous and that litigation is being threatened. It doesn't scare us in the state of Louisiana. We say bring it on.
What would you say if your child had to go to a classroom in which the 5 pillars of Islam were required to be on the wall? How would you feel?
Again, this is not about the 5 pillars of Islam. This bill specifically states the 10 commandments. It is a historical
I'm
document.
presenting you with a hypothetical that would help you put yourself in the shoes of someone you may not understand and their point of view.
Islam didn't build America. So it is.
It looks like this guy is probably Islamic too. He looks like he's probably from the Middle East, oh yeah, he's from the Middle East or he's Turkish, right? Or he's from Turkey or something like that. So that's what he looks like. He looks like he's from Turkey, right? Something like that. Or some Arab state.
To think that we would have the 5 pillars of Islam. Islam, or whatever pillars of Islam. Islam didn't build America. If you went to the Middle East and they had the Quran quoted everywhere, would you be shocked? That nation was built on the Quran. Our nation was built on the Bible. And to be honest, all the Abrahamic religions believe in the Old Testament. What are y'all saying? That Muslims believe in the 10 Commandments? Christians believe in the 10 Commandments. Catholics believe in the 10 Commandments. Mormons believe in the 10 Commandments. Jews believe in the 10 Commandments. What are y'all talking about? The 10 Commandments encompass every Abrahamic religion. Okay.
How would you feel if you walked into a classroom and something you didn't believe in was required to be on the wall? You can answer that question.
I appreciate you, Chris. I cannot sit here and gather and fathom what you could give me 1,000 hypotheticals. But again, this specific bill applies to this specific text. The Quran or Islam, that is a very broad statement. We're specifically talking about a limited text on, mind you, a piece of paper that's not much bigger than a legal sheet of paper. Some kids might even need a magnifying glass to read all of this. This is not so preposterous that we're somehow sanctioning and forcing religion down people's throat. I've heard the comments, and it's just ridiculous.
I mean, a requirement is a requirement, right? Your law mandates a specific version of the commandments be posted. Here is one of them. I want to share it with our viewers. It says, quote, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his cattle, nor anything that is thy neighbor's." I'm wondering why this specific version of the commandments was selected.
So the reason why for that is because it is the most historical reference. It is one of the original translations into the English language, and to preserve the actual history of the document, the drafters of the legislation felt that it was very important to maintain that historical context and that language that portrays it in the best historical light possible.
I'm in no way diminishing anyone's beliefs. I don't think that my personal beliefs are important to this story, but I do have to point out and ask you about the fact that religious scholars don't even agree who wrote the Ten Commandments, where or when they were written. Does that not give you pause in any way that this comes from a religious document and not from something that's based in secular agreement or in a doctrine that a group of people have come to accept, something like the Constitution?
This dude's got to be the stupidest person in the world.
He's Muslim.
Reason to not want to believe.
He's Muslim. He's Muslim.
Hey, man, there is something called scriptural texts. And then there's scriptural texts that have been verified. It's reasonable to believe that people that wrote this believe that it happened. And it's written by people, articulated by people in different dispensations of time that never met anybody. I mean,
the thing is, the stories were written by different people. And they all have the same goal. Jesus Christ died for our sins. That's all they all say. They might say in a different way that, oh, Jesus said this, said something else, said this, said that, maybe in a different tone, maybe in a different way. Because if you're recounting the story, you're gonna change something up because your brain doesn't have a picture memory of the exact thing that happened. But if you keep saying it over and over, very soon it's gonna be like everybody's gonna keep saying the same thing, right?
Never met each other. And so the historical context of this document is legitimate and true. And look, they'll put Shakespeare in the classroom and reference Shakespeare, and we don't have nowhere near the evidence of the founding writings of Shakespeare in comparison to the Bible, especially after the Dead Sea Scrolls. What are y'all saying? You just want to make up something to try to discredit God. Scholars don't agree. They don't fully agree with everything, but unanimously, it is believed that Moses.
Even doctors don't agree on everything. Doctors don't even agree on everything. Some doctors might say that being obese is good, and we've seen that all the time. Look at Lizzo promoting obesity, and doctors are now coming out and calling her out for promoting being freaking obese to her audience and making it seem like it's the best thing to be or to become. Some doctors might say that being 50 pounds overweight is healthy weight, but 50 pounds overweight when you're not pregnant or even, it's the only reason for you to be 50 pounds overweight is maybe you're pregnant. And I heard that most women just need like 15 to 30 pounds of baby weight. But everybody is going 50, 60 pounds. Like, you're going to have to burn that off when you have the baby, right? It doesn't all just come off you. The fat is still on you.
Had the commandments, and Moses received the commandments from God unanimously in Christianity, in Islam, in Mormonism, in Catholicism, and you can say Catholicism and Christianity the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. In Judaism,
it's not. Catholicism and Christianity are the same thing.
Every major religion with billions of people that follow them unanimously agree that Moses received the commandments from God. What are you saying?
Okay, you Catholics gonna get mad in the comments. Yeah. Yes, we kind of have the same doctrine, but one is a demonization or something like that. Is getting one of them wrong. One side is getting the details wrong, and the other side is getting the details right. And if you know me, you know which side has gotten the details right. Okay.
It's on paper. It's unanimously accepted by every major religion. And because some scholars may think, well, maybe it wasn't written in this century, or maybe Moses or somebody wrote this, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Look, religious scholars may not agree, but I'm going to tell you right now, Louisiana in both houses agreed, and we passed this legislation. Look, Louisiana is not California or New York. It may make people uncomfortable in other states, but in this legislature this year, it was a resounding acceptance of this legislation, and that's what's most important.
What should a teacher tell a kindergartner who asks what adultery is?
Well,
Tell them what it is.
should be able to have an appropriate response, which is to tell them, look, guys, this is a historical document that's posted on the wall to remind everyone of.
If a kindergarten asks me, hey, what is adultery? Adultery is if James has his AirPods that he brought from Apple, and his name is on the AirPods, and James says it's for him, you little snotty kid, you don't go and take the AirPods from little Johnny, because the AirPods belongs to little Johnny. So now you're stealing little Johnny's property. And yes, a woman is not a man's property, but you belong to your husband, and your husband belongs to you. So that's basically what it is. Okay, you guys understand that analogy right there, right? Okay, little Johnny, don't steal little Johnny's AirPods, because little Johnny's name is on the AirPods. Okay, so if little Johnny leaves his AirPods right there, you don't go and touch little Johnny's AirPods and go put some kids in little Johnny's AirPods. Okay, right? That's how I'm gonna explain it to the kid. Okay.
Of good morals, good principles. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not lie. These are important things. I think that in the state of Louisiana, we have echoed a strong voice that we believe that faith is a very important part of history and the founding of this nation.
100%.
Again, we've got it posted in historical buildings all over the place. I don't understand why this is such a shock factor to the nation that we would somehow do this. I'm proud that in the state of Louisiana, we're leading the charge on this, and I am proud to press the button in favor.
100%. Love that. Listen, on your money, it says, in God we trust. What you gonna do, throw the money away? Is the money hurt your feelings? In our Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God. In the Constitution, or at least, where it says that we have these inalienable rights that are given to us by our Creator, God. What are you saying? The whole purpose of our rights are rooted in the fact that God gave it to us and no man can. And no man can take it. What are we saying, man? There is a consistency across the board that God has always been in the founding of America. God should always be in the forefront of America. And if you're a dumb atheist and you don't love it, go live in a country where they believe in nothing.
Or you Muslim, leave America, bro. We don't want you here. It's a country founded by God, and we're standing on God. So if you are standing on Allah, you're standing on Hindu or whatever other thing that you believe in, go to your country and go believe that. But yeah, right here, bro, we stand on God. 10 toes, 12 toes, 20 toes, it don't matter. We standing on God. And that's G-O-D, baby.